Alright, so we gotta address the elephant in the room. Jump Force is officially over come 2022. It's been a long ride. Everyone has loved Jump Force, and I'm gonna address the real reason as to why Jump Force is over, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm gonna tell you the real actual reason. So let's start off with the false reasons. Jump Force sucked. Nobody played it. It was a horrible game. Ha 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 ha. It's horrible and now it's over. That is so far removed from the truth you wouldn't even know. But I will tell you this. That line of thinking may have slightly participated in the end of Jump Force when I actually explain it, but there's a lot of social media influencers that came out that got beat in Jump Force in the initial release of the game, because Jump Force, like many anime games, but particularly Jump Force, has a very low learning curve. So when you had those social media influencers, you had those Twitch streamers, you had those YouTubers come out and get absolutely destroyed by not only the god of Jump Force, but many other normal citizens of Jump Force, it hurt their ego. So they did bad press about Jump Force, talking about the roster is this. Mind you, these people love Jump Force all leading up until the release. Isn't that magical when you miss one little franchise that didn't get represented in the game? One franchise, and then you go off and say Jump Force sucks the entirety of the game because you didn't get your Assassinations Classroom represented in Jump Force. You got mad and just turned on the game and did bad press. Okay, fine, whatever. And they did this for months, and I noticed that after they did that bad press on Jump Force, the publishers, Namco Bandai, they have not been so privy to have association with different social media influencers. I mean, you remember during the Xenoverse days, we already had like different YouTubers and Twitch streamers, you know, actually brought on to those streams to promote DLC and different content going on. And it's been years. I'm talking about at least 3 years, 3 to 4 years since we've seen that kind of relationship between the studios, the publishers, and the social media influencers. And the way they spat upon Jump Force really did have a lot to do with as to why that was, why they ended that partnership and relationship with different streamers and social media influencers. Now, did Jump Force have its problems? Yes, I'll be the first to tell you, but was it any more horrible than your typical anime game? No, especially if we count Demon Slayer, and the only reason they haven't fully turned on Demon Slayer is 1, Demon Slayer is hot right now, 2, they don't want to jump before the general consensus comes out. Like, the public is going to love Demon Slayer no matter what, because the anime is hot, the manga is hot, and they don't want to take that little leap of faith and put their actual real opinions about the Demon Slayer game out there. Yes, you've had people come out and say it sucked, for server issues, connectivity issues, glitch issues, whatever, but they're not going hard on it like they went on Jump Force. Now, Jump Force had its issues. Yes, it did. My one key issue with Jump Force is the way they were rationing out content. We even have proof that they removed content, that they actually, were ready to put in the game, like the Saint Seiya characters that were mysteriously removed. Plenty of other characters that should have been in the game, but you're sitting there taking one DLC pack a year. No wonder some people lost interest in your game, and no wonder Xenoverse is still alive, because at least they'll do 2 DLC packs a year, stay in your face every 6 months. Whereas you look at a game like Jump Force, which is the grand celebration of like several different anime and manga series, and you're barely putting out content. That is why Jump Force was slightly at fault for its own demise. That's one key issue. Did it have gameplay issues? No worse than any anime game. Did it have other issues? Like, a lot of people want to bring up a rematch button, but does Dragon Ball Xenoverse have a rematch button? And don't trust me, I love Xenoverse more than Jump Force. I would just be completely honest with you. But Xenoverse doesn't have a rematch button. Demon Slayer doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I almost spoke erroneously. Yes, it does. But most anime games, I'm gonna be honest with you, do not have rematch buttons. Naurto, Boruto, Shinobi Striker doesn't have rematch button. No one complains about that. So you're complaining about a game, you just want to nitpick and find something to complain about. Now the second smaller issue, we gotta talk about the Jump Force story mode scenes, like floating, levitating characters. We've all seen all those scenes, the horrible non-dubbed scenes and whatnot. Yeah, those are actual problems. Two problems that I've just noted here. Other than that, it's your typical anime arena fighter, and it is no worse than any other anime arena fighter. Please, let's get over it. Now, finally, we're going to get to the real reason as to why Jump Force ended. Not a lot of people know this. Not a lot of people are actually going to tell you the truth, but I'm going to tell you the truth. It's a licensing issue. Jump Force, of course, having the different manga and anime series that are, comprised in its roster, they have to go through different rosters, different animes, different franchises to get the rights to represent them in the game. So recently, 2 different franchises just ended their licensing relationship with Jump Force and Spike Chunsoft. So what that means is that they're not allowed to sell new copies of the game because they don't own the license to represent those characters. They don't have to take them out, they don't have to remove them, they just can't sell anything else. And that's why Jump Force came to an end. And now that I think about it, that's probably why Sakurai won't give us anime characters in Super Smash Bros. That's why. It's not that he hates anime. Of course he doesn't hate anime, but he probably knows, he himself knows, that he can't represent anime and manga franchises because licensing dates end, and he wants Smash Bros to continue to sell and continue to be available to the consumer. So that's the real reason why Jump Force ended. Licensing issues. 2 different licenses ended with Spike Chunsoft, and then you compare that to what the choices they had, right? They could have actually bought the licenses again. I'm pretty sure they had the money. If they went to Namco Bandai, they probably could have gotten the backing, in my mind. But when you look at, the big social media influencers crapping on the game, when you look at the fact that they're leaking out content at a snail's pace, the company probably said, you know what, we're not going to give you money to get these licenses. It's not hot enough to actually, for us to put any more money into this. And that's what ended it. It's not that the game was bad. It's not that, it was terrible or anything. It's just that the community was toxic to it. And when I say the community, I mean the social media influencers, the YouTubers, the Twitch streamers, people who got their asses handed to them in this game are what effectively ended a great game like Jump Force. Now, with licensing issues, I don't ever see them attempting another Jump Force. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't ever see them doing that ever again. It hurts because it was a good idea. It was a good concept. And I would even say that it was executed well. Was it executed spectacularly? No, it left a lot to be desired, but it was the first game. It was the first Jump Force game to come out the gate, and I feel like Namco Bandai should give this game another chance. It should be a Jump Force 2. They should come up with a different contract or a different arrangement that would allow them to have permanent licensing access for Jump Force 2 in particular, with additional DLCs and additional content. And I feel like the fans deserve it because there is an active community out there. It's more active than Xenoverse 1. People are saying that Xenoverse 1, a 6-7-year-old game, is more active than Jump Force. Bull crap. Now, is Jump Force active as it needs to be? No. And that's because they keep, tiptoeing with releasing DLC. You guys cannot do that. You have to have a constant stream of content. And I want to look at Xenoverse 2. You guys are doing great, but you need more content too. 2 DLC packs a year is not cutting it. We got a lot of ground to cover, and we do have a lot of time to cover it, but we should be seeing DLC packs every 3 months, if not every 2 months, not every 6 months. We got Guys in Construction to cover, we got Angels to cover, we got movie characters to cover, all before you even get to the new content. So that's been the reason that Jump Force ended, guys. I hope I filled you in completely, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, enable all notifications for the #1 anime, gaming, and Xenoverse and Jump Force channel on YouTube. It's the God bow before the almighty Lord Paragon Perfection, the Natural Selection.